Hey guys, welcome to another video. So today we are gonna talk about Outlaw rogues. Woo! And this little guide here will be a guide on basically everything you need to know in order to master the Outlaw rogue in Mythic Plus and do huge amounts of damage. Like I've seen even like people like Muscle Bra and Undaddy reaching 150, 200k DPS in Mythic Plus on actually not that big of a pull. So like still big pulls nonetheless, but you can reach some really incredible numbers with Outlaw rogues here in patch 185. What is it? 8.185. Talking is hard, guys. 8.15. So let's take a look at it and I'll show you what you need to know. Guys, we are gonna show you the opener now. Although openers and Mythic Plus is a bit and this opener here is gonna take Vanish into the opener. So in most situations, because you can use Vanish for skips and Vanish is really handy to have on later, and the damage increase is it's a minuscule damage increase. So I'm gonna show you the opener anyway, but in most situations I would actually recommend you to hold on to that Vanish. Like, one mistake I did in some of the runs I filmed for this here is that I took the Vanish and just used it on cooldown for the damage increase in the boss. Though it isn't damage increase, I didn't think of, oh wait, I need that Vanish to pull a skip right after this boss. Hey, great job, Chris. So let's dive into the opener and how you actually want to do it. So this opener here is like you use your potion, then your adrenaline rush, then your stealth, ambush, vanish, ambush, and then you continue from there. So you have your adrenaline rush right from the get-go. You have your 2 ambushes, gives you some combo points, and then if you were to have Blade Flurry or not Blade Flurry, Blade Rush and or Killing Spree for single target damage, then you would use that after this point. Although I am not, since we are not going to be taking those 2 talents from Mythic Plus, since Blade Flurry is our bread and butter here for this. So here, I'll show you. There's a mage beating up on my training dummies. We'll show you anyway. So, potion, adrenaline rush, stealth, ambush, vanish, ambush, and then into your rotation here afterwards. And then just keep going. And I'm pressing the wrong buttons here in this rotation here. But I'll go over the rotation here in a bit. So don't take this here into your mind. Alright guys, here. So let's start talking about the rotation a bit. As I said before, what I did there was garbage. Do not do that. So the rotation revolves a lot about priorities. And like when we build our combo points, that's the first thing we gotta build combo points so we can spend them. So the priority we want to build combo points is that we want to use the opportunity procs. That is like the top one. That's the little icon you see over there, like in the middle of the screen when we have like the pistol shot proc. It's called opportunity. We want to use that because it's free and it does a lot of damage and gives us combo points, which we like. And then if we have ambush available, which is only available if we vanish, which I explained before. Vanish is a thing in Mythic Plus that is really, really useful to hold on to. If you know your routes well and you know things well, maybe in a puck you're not like all that certain and it's like, oh, we can skip this. Sure, let's just skip it. I have my Vanish ready. So in pucks I sometimes recommend saving it, but otherwise it's always a good idea to just get everything down, what you're going to do, every pull. Use the Method Dungeon Tools add-on if you want a bit help. It makes it a lot easier to like go over how we're going to do a dungeon if you're gonna try to push some really high keys. And then we want to use Sinister Strike as the last option. Sinister Strike is probably going to be the one you use the most, so use the other 2 when you have them, otherwise it's fine enough. So for cooldowns, if you have Killing Spree or Blade Rush, it is very likely you're not going to use these here in Mythic Plus, because the Blade Flurry talent is just so much better in Mythic Plus. So Killing Spree, basically, when you're at low energy, use it. And on cooldown, so you can like regain energy while you're in the Killing Spree. Blade Rush, use it when you're not energy capped. And on cooldown, again, these things are just on cooldowns as we get them back here since we are Outlaw. The more finishes we do, the more cooldown reduction we get, which is a really good thing. So don't hold on to cooldowns for too long, basically. Adrenaline Rush here is basically use it when you're not capped at energy. Fair enough. And then Vanish, if you decide to use it here in fights, then use it while you have more than 60 energy. So you can Vanish, ambush. And that's the cooldowns and the finishes. Now it's the tricky part here. So we always want to like refresh roll the bones if it's about to run off. Although when we have Deadshot or Ace Up Your Sleeve, which are really good traits, I'll cover that later here in a bit as well. We want to pop those as soon as we can. So between the eyes, off cooldown. Basically every time. Unless Roll the Bones is about to fall off with like 3 seconds or less. Then we want to re-roll Roll the Bones after that as another priority. So prioritize Deadshots, or not Deadshots, but between the eyes over re-rolling your Roll the Bones. And then you dispatch if you have the last as the last resort. If you don't have any Deadshot or Ace Up Your Sleeve trait, you want to re-roll Roll the Bones until you get like the right ones, and then you only want to use between the eyes if you have Ruthless Precision or the Shock buff, which is where you get your crit. And between the eyes does 4 times the damage if it crits, so crits are really useful. And we want to use Dispatch as a last resort. So let's jump into it and see how it actually looks. So we are standing here with a bunch of training dummies. And we are gonna go into the thing here. Oh, let's just get a bit of game sounds in. And so, we're just gonna open on stealth here. We're not gonna use our Vanish. And we're cleaving, so we wanna pop our Blade Flurry and continue as normal. And we have... So we got our up here. We are using between the eyes. And opportunistic strike, so we don't wanna overcap here. So we wanna re-roll the bones here. So now we got 2 buffs. We're happy about that. Wanna keep the Blade Flurry up. Use Dispatch, so we don't overcap our combo points. And Dispatch, we should have used a between the eyes there. So we'll just go ahead and use this now. There we go. And use that. Opportunity. Opportunity again here. We don't have full energy. Might as well pop a Adrenaline Rush. There we go. Between the eyes. Deadshot. When I spend those combo points, use that. So I accidentally double clicked my Dispatch here. So with the Ace Up Your Sleeve, you sometimes get extra combo points. So we do like this. There we go. There we go. And we are about to lose our Roll the Bones. So we'll roll another. And we got time to re-roll another here. We have the opportunity. Now we got some good procs again. And this is basically how you keep going. Opportunity when you can. Between the eyes when you can. And just re-roll Roll the Bones until you get something you like. And keep Blade Flurry up for the situations you want. And then you're gonna do, with very little effort, you're gonna do some nice damage. Alright, so let's talk about Roll the Bones here. So, you won't believe what happened. I had the luckiest recording of this year. And I forgot to press record, so I didn't actually get the recording. But I had 3 Roll the Bones in a row that were 2 buffs. So, let me explain here. We want to keep any 2 buffs. That's really good. Or we want to keep Ruthless Precision. Ruthless Precision is also known as Shock buff and the one that gives you crit. So we want to keep the crit. Like, crit is really, really nice for Mythic Plus and Outlaw Rooks. So what we're going to do here is, like, let's just pretend we are cleaving down some stuff here. Ta-da! And Roll the Bones. Okay, a single buff here without the things we want. And Roll the Bones. Another one we didn't want. And... oh, 5 buffs, 5 buffs. So now we are gonna go into our shenanigans here and just do everything we can here to do as much damage as possible. When you have 5 buffs, things get a bit hectic. You are gonna make, unless you're really good, gonna make some small mistakes here in terms of using the right abilities and such. Since Ruthless or True Bearing affects the Deadshot. So we wanna just keep going here. Now I really want to... I would like to re-roll some more stuff here to show you. But 5 buffs here. Lucky, lucky, lucky. So we'll keep it going. And re-roll. Another really good one. So this one here, broadsides, is a bit strange. So it ability to generate 1 extra combo point. Although I've had the feeling like, see, that was 1 sinister strike. It got me 5 combo points. Sometimes that works kinda in conjunction with Blade Flurry. I haven't confirmed this. I haven't found any of where this is, but it's like 1 extra combo points. This here, Blade Flurry, Sinister Strike, full combo points. That is that can be one of those if you're like in a situation where you don't want to roll the bones too much. That if you're like about to cleave down a huge pack and you didn't get your ruthless precision. Broadsides and Jolly Roger, I think it's called, like the skull buff, that gives you extra chance to for Sinister Strike to hit twice. Those are the ones I recommend you keep instead of taking roll the bones again. And here another really good roll the bones that we want to keep. This one here is one of the ones that makes things a bit more hectic here when we're playing with between the eyes. So we want to use between the eyes and then go. And yeah, that's basically roll the bones. So again, want to keep any 2 buffs or ruthless position. Or if you're really lucky and actually do record it this time and get a freaking 5 buffs on your recording. Wow, I'm excited about this. So yeah, that is it for roll the bones. So let's talk some stats, shall we? So when it comes to Mythic Plus, like the stats you really want to keep is like agility. You can't avoid agility. Agility is pretty flat and just generates damage. Flat damage is pretty boring stat and it really doesn't have much to do with it. So we're just gonna cross off the agility as agility and leave it there. The stats you want to focus on is the secondary stats. What you want is crit as the first one, then you want versatility, then you want haste, and then you want mastery for Mythic Plus dungeons here. I recommend getting crit, as crit is really powerful for Outlaw rogues, and it gives us a nice edge with between the eyes and just general crit damage. Plus we can reach some pretty amazing numbers of crit when we have Ruthless Precision up. And versatility. Again here, Mythic Plus, it increases your damage, and especially when we're cleaving a lot and stuff. Versatility just makes really good sense. Also, it reduces the damage you take. So, Verse is really nice to get for us as Outlaws in Mythic Plus. Like, again, unavoidable damage in really high keys is gonna be nice to be able to reduce by maybe up to 10% if you have enough versatility. So I recommend you take Verse over haste and mastery. Mastery is just not that good for Outlaw, so try to avoid mastery as much as possible. And that is my recommendations for Outlaw here in Mythic Plus. If you wanna go for a more single target focused build, I think like you should go for agility, then haste, then crit, then verse, then mastery. Again, we're not focusing too much on the single target aspects of Outlaw Rogue here in this fight, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. And that is gonna be it for what kind of stats you should have. Although one thing I forgot to mention, you should always simulate your character. I recommend using Simcraft for that. Simcraft and raid bots. It's really easy to use. I'll put up another video on how you can do that, because that's a more universal thing that every class can take really good benefit of. So leave a comment or a like if you would like me to do one of those. So what we're gonna go into now here is, and this is also something you really want to simulate here. So I'll first show you what kind of Azerite traits I have personally on my character. So here on my headpiece we have Brigand, or Keep Your Wits About You, and Ace Up Your Sleeve. As I explained, Ace Up Your Sleeve is a really nice one. Then I have God River, is also one of the better ones for our little cleave. It adds a little bit of execute, which is nice, and defensive traits. So Keep Your Wits About You, and Ace Up Your Sleeve. These are the two outer rings are the most major ones you want to focus on. So here we have a Snake Eyes and Deadshot. Snake Eyes is not really that great, but it's decent, and Deadshot is pretty much best in slot. And then we have another Deadshot and Paradise Lost. Again, here, Paradise Lost is not top dog as well, but that's what I've managed to get my hands on, and I'm quite satisfied with this shit. If I should go with my absolutely optimal setup, I would have 1 Keep Your Wits About You, 3 Deadshots, 1 Ace Up Your Sleeve, and 1 Bargain. Treacherous Covenant, that's what it's called. Like, Treacherous Covenant is like a huge damage increase, just flat damage increase, and you can keep it up for most of the time. Deadshot, like, you saw those 2 Deadshots, we managed to get like 50-60 crits. That would be way higher if we had another Deadshot trait, because they stack really well. And the reason why I only want to take 1 Keep Your Wits About You is because Keep Your Wits About You really only improves your AoE, and it scales not as well as the other traits. So the second and third trait you would have of it wouldn't be as much of an increase in damage as the first one. So therefore, I would recommend only take 1 of these. Ace Up Your Sleeve is nice. You get like, have a chance to get like all your 5 combo points back, so you can go between the eyes, dispatch, and then shoot with your little pea shooter of a gun. Otherwise, another great option would just be to have 2 Treacherous Covenant, so even more. Again, it is a bit of a double-edged sword. If you get low, then you're gonna take some more damage. So, but that's what I recommend for Azerite traits. I will, and do note, Azerite traits are flaky, to say the least. It goes up and down, and like there's new sims that shows different things here. I will link below to hero damage, where you can check what sort of things is good for you. And do note here from Mythic Plus, we, as an Outlaw rogue, our single target damage is all the way down in the bottom. So I would that's why I don't recommend going, like, even though it says on hero damage, oh, well, 3 keep your wits about you is best for AoE, and we're gonna slash through a bunch of mobs, but then you're gonna take ages on the bosses. So that's why I recommend what is this here. And I have a few friends here that I've consorted with as well. Another streamer here, I recommend checking him out on Twitch as well. He's called Undanny. He is currently the best rogue in the world when it comes to Mythic Plus. So he definitely knows what he's talking about. So that is what I would recommend for the Azerite traits. And again, always simulate your characters. If you get some pieces that have really nice traits, but is 400 items, and you have another 415 that is decent, it's kind of hard to see what will be the best for you. So go and simulate and find out what's the best gear is in your banks. You can use raid bots for that. They have a really nice, easy to use tool, so just quickly check it out. And that is basically gonna be my coverage for Azerite traits. So now we'll go into the more finicky things. So I want to show you one thing here, and it might surprise you. Alright, so we are in here with the training WC again. So what I'm gonna show you here is something I found was a bit surprising. Reason why I said it might surprise you. So the way that Blade Fury as the gunshot pistol shots work, because I was a bit confused, to say the least here, is cleaving, because I was like, okay, so people used it in the cleave, and I was like, okay, but Blade Flurry, wait, that didn't cleave. And I'd say, okay, if we go close, now it cleaves. So this here might be very, very useful for you, but if you want to min-max your Outlaw in Mythic Pluses as well. So if you stand next to the mobs here and pop Blade Flurry, the damage you do, it doesn't have to be a ad here that is close to you. If I shoot here on this guy, I need to get a bit closer to reach him. Poof, then I'll still cleave onto the targets that are near me. So I just need to stay near where all the people are standing, and then we can enjoy all the cleave damage, even if I have to shoot another guy here. Oh, Gilly's calling. But yeah, that's just basically what you want to do for the things here. It's like a nice little thing. It's good to know. So yeah, and screw Dulda, I'm gonna leave this in the video. Alright guys, and that is gonna conclude it for this little Outlaw guide. Hopefully you liked it. Make sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. There will be a link to other videos here in the side. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Like, she's just stuck in there and evading. Come on, come on.
No, it can't end like this.
Last man standing.